ceremony in Raleigh County, remembering a coal mining disaster there. Today marks 14 years since 29 miners were killed in the Upper Big Branch mine explosion. People gathered in the city of Beckley today to reflect on the lives lost while remembering the loved ones who are still living with their grief. Our Robert Castillo shares more.
The somber silence fills the air, honoring coal miners whose voices were lost the day the Upper Big Branch coal mine exploded. There was 1 minute 29 seconds of quiet. Representing the 29 lives lost in the explosion, this ceremony honors the memories of the 29 miners who died that day 14 years ago. But for those left behind to mourn, like Jeannie Sanger, who lost her brother in the UBB explosion, it's like it happened yesterday. She shared one memory that gives her some comfort.
A couple weeks before this happened, he stood up in church and he said, "I want to thank the Lord for saving my soul, and I want to thank him for watching over me for over 30 years in that old mines." He said, "If he takes me tomorrow, I'm ready to go."
Sanger says her brother, Benny Willingham, was just 6 weeks away from retirement when he was killed in the mine disaster. A report following the state and federal investigations into the explosion pointed to more than 250 safety violations in Upper Big Branch issued by the West Virginia Office of Miners' Health, Safety, and Training before the deadly blast at UBB. The Assistant Secretary of Labor for Mine Safety and Health traveled from the Washington, D.C. area to attend this remembrance ceremony. He says changes in the way his agency operates today are due to the ultimate price paid by the miners who died that fateful day in April 2010.
It just underscores how important it is to make sure that those who go out and do the work of mining, which is incredibly important, not just in West Virginia, but throughout our country, those who go out and do that work, they get to go home at the end of the day safe and healthy to their families, their communities, and that's what it's all about.
2 miners survived the deadly explosion, suffering injuries, but escaped the disaster with their lives. This gathering is to ensure the miners killed in a preventable disaster are never forgotten. Here for you in Beckley, I'm Robert Castillo, WVVA News.
All right, thank you for that report, Robert. The Upper Big Branch mine was owned by Massey Energy. The CEO of that company at that time, Don Blankenship, was eventually convicted on a single misdemeanor charge of conspiring to violate federal mine safety standards. Blankenship served 1 year in federal prison for his role in the UBB coal mine disaster.